Today we're going to take apart the brand new iPhone 12 Pro. We already know the outside is new and different with its stainless steel sides, flush screen, and ceramic shield glass. But we know true beauty lies on the inside. The iPhone 12 Pro has a series of magnets just below the back glass, and I'm curious to see what those look like from the inside. And while I was able to get the screen off in one piece, that little stab in the wrong spot killed the screen entirely. So it's a good idea to learn from my mistakes if you ever need to open one of these up. The phone is still alive, but now I'll need a new screen. Replacement iPhone 11 Pro screens are around $170 right now, so I imagine the iPhone 12 Pro will be priced similarly when they start coming out, if Apple doesn't digitally lock them to the motherboard, making third-party repairs impossible, which they seem to be doing more of lately. There are 4 screws holding down the metal plate over the camera units. The iPhones are always super complex inside, and this one requires at least 4 different screwdriver bits and a whole lot of organization, since pretty much each screw is a different size and shape. The top camera is the main one, the 12 megapixel sensor with optical image stabilization. Then we have the 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera with no OIS, and the bottom 12 megapixel 2x optical zoom camera which does have that OIS. You might be asking, hey Jerry, what about the LiDAR sensor? And that's a great question. We'll get to it in a second. Still inside of the phone, we have the front Face ID and the 12 megapixel selfie camera. The LiDAR module is still screwed in and facing the rear of the phone. The brains of the operation, the motherboard, has 6 screws holding it in place. The SIM card tray has a white water damage indicator sticker over the top grill. This sticker can be seen from outside of the phone if you just peek inside of your SIM card tray slot. Apple's pretty smart. Their phones might be water resistant, but they're not waterproof, and Apple can tell if it ever gets wet when that sticker turns pink. The LiDAR sensor is held in place by 2 more screws. LiDAR is actually pretty cool. It's like a depth sensor on steroids, able to bounce infrared light from one circle and measure the bounce back to calculate distances. It makes for some really fast 3D scanning and measuring. It's even found in some self-driving cars. Here in the iPhone, it'll probably mostly be used for really fast autofocusing for the camera, but it's still cool to see futuristic technology in a mainstream smartphone. Then finally, after everything, we get our first look under the wireless charging pad and glimpse this glorious array of circular magnets around the outside. It's rather brilliant of Apple to use magnets to perfectly position the 2 coils on top of each other. Instead of using one large circle magnet, it's actually made up of 18 smaller, more rectangular magnets. Apple has said that every single magnet used in the iPhone 12 is recycled, which is awesome. Getting rid of the charging brick, headphones, and making the box smaller is also supposed to help out the environment. Fun fact though, creating a brand new smartphone consumes almost as much energy as using a smartphone for an entire decade. So since Apple has over 1 billion active iPhones on the planet right now, if they really wanted to help the environment, they'd make their phones easier to repair.